the FBI has impaneled a grand jury to help investigate claims that a Chicago hospital gave preferential treatment to tenants of Trump Tower, Chicago. Here's what happened. Back in mid-March, back when vaccines were still scarce, you had to meet certain criteria depending on where you lived in order to get the vaccines. A hospital that's just about a block away from Trump Tower, Loretta Hospital, actually had vaccines reserved for low-income residents. But instead, according to what the investigation is trying to determine, they believe the hospital took these vaccines meant for poor people, took them to Trump Tower, and began giving people the vaccine. So it's not even like they told people at Trump Tower, hey, come on down to the hospital, skip the line. They went to them. They shipped the vaccines to them. My God, we don't want to inconvenience the rich people, do we? Now, to me, this is more of an indictment of the American healthcare system than it is of Trump Tower, right? I actually don't even think this is really a Trump story. Maybe it is. Maybe the FBI, grand jury, all that, maybe they're going to find some information. And if they do, I hope they expose them and I hope they hold them legally responsible for this. But I don't know that that's the case. I believe what we're seeing is a perfect example of what the American healthcare system has become. It is a privilege and honor for the wealthy. We get what's left. If there's anything left over after the wealthy get what they need, then sure, poor people, come on in. We'll see if we can take care of you. You're going to wait for a while. You're going to sit in the emergency room for a couple hours before we even call you back. But if you're rich, you don't even have to call us. We're going to show up where you are and give you a vaccine that you're not even legally eligible to be receiving. Look, Chicago's not the only place we saw this, right? We saw this down here in Florida. You know, back when we were still fighting to get the vaccine, you know, had to wait in lines, you know, digital waiting lists to be called when a vaccine could be ready for us, and we'd scramble to get up there. And our governor, Ron DeSantis, actually sent vaccines to wealthy communities down in South Florida, you know, packed full of Republicans, of course, so they could go to these little mobile vaccine clinics, people driving around like they're, you know, in ice cream trucks, but instead of ice cream, it's the vaccine. And you just walk in a little truck, you get your vaccine, you leave. That's how it works for the wealthy people. Because those are obviously the ones we need to protect the most, right? It's not about age or gender or race. It's about money in these particular instances. Although I do obviously think with Chicago, race certainly probably played a factor in that. People were dying. People are still dying. And the healthcare system continues to cater to the wealthy and possibly, in the case of Chicago, maybe even pander to Donald Trump a little bit, saying, hey, look, we took care of your people. We took care of your building. Everybody there is safe, sound, secure. You don't have to worry about the plebes out there that don't have their shots. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't wait till we get more results from this story. You know, we get actual information from the grand jury, from the FBI, from everybody investigating this, because I want answers. I want to know what happened, how it happened, who signed off on it, and of course, if there were any requests from Trump Tower to make this happen. It'll all come out in the wash, and I can't wait to see what it is.